We're Trent Allie, and we knew building our very own DIY cabin in the mountains would be a challenge.
That's probably a foot of water in our basement, which is not where we want it to be. That is scary. No!
But we're rolling with the punches and feel good about today.
I'm pretty confident that plumbing is like one hundo.
I hope.
Our four-way inspection has been on the horizon for the past few months, and today is the day.
Oh my God!
It'll either be a major win or
It was an absolute utter disaster. This is worst case scenario.
subscribe if you're not already. It's free and it's the easiest way to help us out. And come along today
That's the little spot.
as we brace for our craziest day yet.
Are you nervous?
For tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we're gonna fail.
Good morning, guys. We're just waking up. It's the last day before our big four-way inspection. It's been 70 degrees. Almost all the snow had melted. It was so nice and warm. It was pretty muddy, but spring was right here. And last night it snowed a foot. So we're back to 23 degrees today. Nice and cold. We have a lot of work to do to finish prepping before the inspector gets here. And at this point, I just hope the roads are clear enough that the inspector can actually make it up here. We'll worry about that later, but for right now, we've got to get to work.
And we're right back to winter. At least the dogs are having fun.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the North Pole. 80% of our snow had melted. We were dealing with a muddy mess, but even the mud was starting to dry out, and we had like dry dirt all over the place. And now we have a bunch of snow again. But that's fine. We live at the North Pole, and I'm cool with it. Today we are trying to get the last couple of things done before four-way. Our four-way inspection is tomorrow. Now I'm trying to wire up these transformers so that these motorized dampers are at least wired up, and they should be operational. Brandon is finishing out, furring out or framing out the duck chase in the kitchen. And then I have to do like a couple of things in the main panel downstairs. And that's about it. And then I think we're ready. And they have confirmed that they're coming up tomorrow, even though it's snowing like crazy today. So the pressure is on. Wired up, it is functional in the master bathroom on the fart fan. Now I gotta do the one in the main bathroom. And the problem that I'm running into is the access point for the little junction box inside the fan. We kinda mounted it in a place where you can't get to it. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of deconstruction and a lot of cursing probably, and then I'll get it rewired up, put together, and then we'll reinstall it in the precarious location that it's in.
Part of the plan, right?
You know, when it rains, it snows or pours, or when it snows, your life sucks basically. So we better get to work.
Can't seem to figure it out. Don't know what I did, but I keep hanging myself with all the loose ends. I don't wanna wait here for it. I don't wanna wait here for it. No, I don't wanna wait here for it. I don't wanna wait.
All right, so got the transformer wired up. I'm using this extension cord to try and test the work that we've done to see if it's done correctly, and this will either jump the breaker or it will work.
And
restart the breaker.
I'm gonna run down, reset the breaker, and you just stand right here and holler at me and let me know if the fan turns on.
Okay.
Nothing happened, but you reset the breaker.
Fairly cute. Still no fan.
Let's see if that tripped something. No, we have power, but no fan.
Yeah, I switched it, but it didn't do anything.
Pain in the butt.
Yeah.
We decided to put the breaker panel all the way down there. So I got the extension cord like plugged in correctly because there's like these little tongs, and if you don't get it right in between the tongs, it like arcs and then it trips the breaker. So I got that figured out, and when I plugged it in, the dampener was opening, which is exactly what's supposed to happen, but the fan wasn't turning on, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I was like, great, I'm gonna tear this thing apart again. So I pulled it apart, and lo and behold, one of the wires that I put in there did not take properly, which is why you gotta test all this stuff. My mistake, I'm fixing it. I'm gonna put it back together now, and it should work beautifully.
Should.
Should. Fan's working!
Really?
Woo!
Nice.
Oh, I wish it was hot so I could enjoy this fan blowing on me. So the fan is working, the damper's working. I just gotta put everything back together and mount it for the third time now. Then we can move on to trying to get the rest of the framing done so that we can be ready for tomorrow.
Oh, hey,
Oh, hey.
how's it going?
Oh, you know, just trying to survive. What are you working on?
Stupid wall.
A stupid wall. We forgot to frame half of a wall.
Well, kinda.
We are down here in the frozen basement. We have no power down here, which means no furnace right now. And you guys know already, it's snowing outside, so it's a little bit chilly down here. Allie is not handling it well at all. I'm handling it pretty good because I'm kind of...
You're a Viking. You're built for this weather.
I am. I'm handling it pretty good because I'm a Viking. Also, I'm bundled up.
I'm super bundled up too. I'm just freezing right now. My people were not made for this.
You're a warm weather folk, and I'm a Northern European.
Very true.
I was built for this. For the four-way inspection, I think we have to have the panel off. They have to look at this. I don't know, actually, because Tyrion said they do. Kevin said they don't. We'll see what happens. I'm going to leave the panel off, and...
Are you nervous?
For tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we're going to fail.
Good.
There's no way...
Manage those expectations.
There's no way we won't fail because there's things that I know that we should be like, we should do that, and like we aren't and we haven't, and so yeah. Also, Kevin said the deck stairs are like probably part of the framing inspection. That's good. And he said that the main power from the street needs to be pulled and into the panel for four-way. So like the electrical is probably going to fail because of that. Framing will probably fail because there's no stairs. I don't even know why we're calling for four-way. Like we're pretty much there, and we're kind of hoping that like the inspectors in this area are going to understand the problems we're working with. Obviously it snowed a foot last night, and they're going to like say, okay, you're good except for the main power needs to come in and except for the stairs, but everything else is good. I'm pretty confident that plumbing is like 100.
I hope.
And I think HVAC is all set. And if not, we can be like, Dean!
Yeah.
They said that you messed this up. I hope they don't say anything like that, but
We'll see what happens.
we'll see what happens. I think it's pretty easy to say today was really hard on Lika and Frank. I think it was especially hard on my wife.
Were you filming me sleeping?
No.
Okay, good.
This is the first time I turned it on because you were probably drooling, is my guess. I think we're just emotionally drained because we're like worried. We're scared about the four-way tomorrow, as we should be. We have no idea what we're doing. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow, and I think that's probably when we're gonna see you.
Can you imagine us two out in the woods in a big old house? We'd pass our days on clouds floating around.
All right, guys, so today is the day. We are having our four-way inspection, and I might seem calm on the surface, maybe I don't, but on the inside, I am a tsunami of emotions. I'm scared, I'm nervous, I'm excited, I'm insecure, I'm all of these things bundled into one little package of joy, because I am really excited, and I'm really excited to get this underway. But before we go inside and get the four-way inspection done, I gotta let you know today's video is sponsored by SimpliSafe. SimpliSafe has been the easiest security system I have ever used in my life. Setting it up was a breeze. You basically unpack all of the sensors. All of the devices communicate with the home base, which is plugged in.
SimpliSafe on.
You have everything that you need.
Please exit now.
So we have absolutely loved SimpliSafe. It has not only kept Terry safe, but also we can remote monitor the house with this little security camera that we've got right here. We love this system, and we can't wait to get it installed in the house once the house is done, because it's gonna keep our house nice and safe. If you guys want to check out SimpliSafe to learn more, go to simplisafe.com/Trent and Allie. Thanks again to SimpliSafe for sponsoring today's video. I'm gonna go inside and get to work. The inspector's gonna be here very shortly.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly.
Hello.
Are you freaking out?
Freaking out. All right, so we got word that the inspector was gonna be here at like 9:30 or 10, and it's like 8:50, and he just drove by. So he's either going to a neighbor's house or he's lost and he missed our house. I don't really know, but we are doing everything we can to get everything going. We got the sewer system filling up, and if this thing fills up and it's leaking, remember last time we filled it up, it wasn't leaking? If it's leaking now, I'm gonna burn this house down. As soon as that's done, then I do need to disconnect the gas line from the furnace, put a plug on it. We got some work to do. This is our planes table. It's obviously completely piled with junk.
It's our everything table.
It's our everything table. We're trying to get all this stuff off of here, and we're gonna move this table out into the middle of the house so that the inspector can lay out the plans and look at them easily.
You guys have masks with you?
I do have one.
Oh my god! Oh my god.
Plug just popped out?
Yeah.
So there's basically a plug that was in a drain. It was under pressure and somehow it popped out. And when it popped out, all the water that was in the system came out of that drain. Our problem right now is that our ducts are all full of water right now because there's that duct right next to that drain.
This is really bad. We've tested this system before and it didn't leak. Well, eventually we got it to the point where it didn't leak. So we think that the water is just in the HVAC system, which is also bad.
It just is running down the wall.
But there's water all over the fittings of the pipes. So now we're trying to make sure it's definitely not coming out of the pipes. It's just like excess water that has spilled all over the place. The good news is the inspector isn't here yet. So we have maybe 10 minutes to clean this entire place up, wipe everything down, refill the system, and make sure that that doesn't happen again. Did you see that? It was like a geyser.
Yeah, because the water was like above that point.
Yeah.
So once that pops, all the water in the line just starts coming out of there.
It was like a full, you see what's happening and you don't know what to do moment. Like,
Exactly.
what do I do? This plug is in now. Really solid.
Better be. A little extra juice just in case. We just had a disaster.
Your disaster has about 30 minutes before the inspector shows up.
Oh,
We were filling the sewer line and one of the plugs popped. And just put like 45 gallons of water into our house.
Kevin, you brought the real authority today?
I did.
Nice.
Spring break.
Spring break! Yay. Well, anything you can do, Keegan, to help us pass today would be awesome.
Okay.
I'm not like worried about the subfloor or any of the wood getting wet. It's that like this is a heating duct.
It'll dry.
So we had like 1,000 gallons go up and then just went down. So when we went down into the basement, it's leaking out of like 12 parts of the ductwork, and we've got a UV mold killer in
That's
the
right.
furnace, so we don't have to worry about any mold coming through. But basically, this pump is connected to a little ball that inflates inside that drain line, and the Schrader valve on that little ball is like so finicky that, and it's so small that you pump it up, and if you try to take the pump off, it deflates it. So you have to leave the pump connected. Well, now my pump has a leak right here. So the pump is connected, but if I don't come over here and pump it every so often,
Oh my gosh. Someone just needs to stand there and monitor it.
it's not my fault. It's Home Depot's fault.
That is
The
the
guys-
greatest excuse in human history. It's not my fault.
Hey,
Who built the house, Trent?
Kevin did.
Oh, oh my God. We are so screwed.
Alright, if you guys haven't been clued in thus far, it happened again. So basically, if you disconnect the Schrader valve from this little plug, the plug deflates. It's like, it's not a good system. So I have to leave the pump connected, and the pump had a tiny leak. So we were like continually pumping it up every so often, and guess what? The pressure and it deflating a little bit, poof, it popped again.
He's stalking it right now.
There goes nothing.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Running busy.
I know it's kind of a mess in here, so if you want me to move anything, let me know. What should I use for that, wood or foam or what?
Maybe use foam.
Just to make it more airtight. Look, that
Yeah.
one's crooked.
It's resale.
I gotta fix that. 'Cause
All
since
about
those
resale.
since those have the slope in them,
Yeah.
if they're crooked, your light's looking at a 10-degree angle sideways. So. water coming out of the furnace. So we got some
Cleanup to do.
drying to do.
Yeah. Wow, this is super nerve-wracking because obviously we want as little as possible to fail. So there's a couple things that have been pointed out that are not actually very big deals. We're trying to do them as the inspector points them out so that there can be as short a list as possible, but the stress is high.
You taught him well, Kevin.
Thanks, Dad.
There was a lot of conversations. There was a lot of phone calls. There was a lot of back and forth. But
Yeah, if you can't tell by looking at the house, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm really doing my best to make sure everything's done right.
there was a little extra piping. There's a little extra wire.
So we have to do brass screws in the toilet
Yeah.
flanges, shower pan blocking, block off the duct chase,
Yeah.
and then we can cross the straps off. We're gonna do that right now.
Well, he's getting that now. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Cool.
And you said we could insulate.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Thank you.
Kevin's gonna
You
come
might
help
want
us
to clean
insulate.
up and get everything out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
Stuff get everywhere.
Yeah.
All right.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Drive safe going down.
That's amazing.
Yippee-ki-yay! Basically, we just have a couple pieces of blocking, and we have to change some silver screws to some brass screws, and then we're pretty much done.
That's amazing.
Also, I'm gonna go drain the water out of the sewer line so that we don't have another huge disaster.
Thank you. Definitely call that a win. What a crazy morning, but it ended up really well. We have very little to fix. And he said we can start insulating.
We technically still failed because we have to do those couple things, but it's like a very small, minor fail.
I thought we were gonna need to redo all the electrical, or like there was gonna be some huge problem with the plumbing, or like you have to take a wall down and rebuild a wall.
I think you are forgetting that our house flooded.
Yeah.
Twice.
Well, yeah.
And the second time, there was water pouring out of the furnace.
Yeah, we need
So-
to go fix that.
The furnace, Dean might be coming back up and putting a new furnace in. I'm not exactly sure, but most of that water probably made its way down into the fan housing, and that's where all the electronics are, so it could be ruined.
Let's
We
go
need to-
deal with that then.
You go check it out. The thing that I'm the most excited about is that I'll never have to fill this stupid drain line up with water ever again. We obviously drained most of the contents into our house 2 times, and now everything is a swampy mess down here. We can't really energize the panel because water got around the panel. Water got all in the furnace. It was an absolute utter disaster, and like the first time it happened, I was like, this cannot be happening right now. The second time that it happened, I was like, we're gonna fail the inspection. This is a terrible day. Everything is gonna go wrong today, and obviously those bad things happened so that we could pass the inspection. After I get this connected, we got to do low voltage stuff, and we might be able to get some wire and actually connect it for the panel, and then like the inside of the electrical will all be done, and everything is just from here to the street, from outside to the street.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Oh, that's huge. He was standing here like checking in this whole
Yeah,
area.
Just staring into this zone.
Oh my
that was
gosh.
Our most nerve-wracking zone.
Yes. Trent and Brandon knew what they were doing, and we've done so much research, and we've been painstakingly meticulous, even though maybe it doesn't come across that way in the videos, about where we're placing everything and how we're doing everything. And a lot of you guys were worried about just this whole area,
Mainly
that,
the vent pipe going through all of
yeah,
those.
all of those.
But he didn't say one word about it.
Yeah.
So. We're good.
water ruined our day, if you guys haven't already figured that out. And water got behind this panel, so water came down behind, a little bit of water came down on top. This is worst case scenario. Water would never be coming from outside into this space. The only time that this would ever happen is if there was a flood upstairs. And that's exactly what we had happen 2 times. And the second time was worse than the first time because there was more water. Basically, now when I try to energize the panel, the breaker keeps tripping because water is in here doing something, causing something to arc, and I'm gonna have to take off every single breaker and dry them all off, and I just hope we get to the bottom of it because Brandon's already had to go reset the breaker down at the street like 12 times, and a 13th might kill him.
Professional technique right there.
Yeah, it is. Normally people would have like a big fan that would probably dry this off. Also, there's no electricity coming into this panel, so don't worry about me touching all these things. I would never even be looking at this if it was live.
All right, we're calling out the big guns, literally.
All right, I'm gonna plug the panel in
Okay.
without any of the breakers in it.
Okay. You want me to tell you if it trips?
Yeah, go upstairs and look at the light.
All right, if that light goes off, it means we've tripped the breaker. Okay, ready? Tripped it! Story of the day.
All right. The day started off great. And
Well.
then we had multiple floods. And then we had an amazing 4-way inspection and we passed, and I'm extremely grateful and thankful and excited. And I feel like $1 million because we passed.
But
This electrical panel keeps jumping the breaker down there. We cannot figure it out. So I literally took the whole thing apart. I took the hot and the neutral bars out. I made sure everything is dry. All the breakers are dry. We've taken it apart and put it back together 700 times by now.
Brandon just went down to reset the breaker, and hopefully this is the last time we'll have to do this, and everything has been dried out and is gonna work properly. Maybe.
Nothing! All right, so we've been having some trouble lately when we plug things into this cord. It's been tripping the breaker, and today it's been doing it every time we try to hook anything into the panel. So we feel like there's a problem going on. The panel is so dry that it is like the Atacama Desert of Peru, okay? It's the driest place on earth besides Antarctica. And I got this new cable, this new extension cord that I've never used. I plugged it in, ran it all the way out here, and if this light turns off, I'm probably gonna die.
No!
Why? All right, go reset the breaker.
Again.
We're gonna see if maybe one of the cords is the problem. Because the panel's dry. It's not that the panel's wet. Could be a faulty breaker, but all the breakers are taken out. So to be honest, I have no idea what it is.
Off.
Oh my gosh. What a freaking day, dude. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you have a draw. And I feel like we've had all 3 of those things today. The flood, absolute, like, worst thing, almost as bad as the beam falling on the house, like literally, because of the cleanup and the problems. And now the water has undoubtedly caused this electrical panel problem. And hopefully we can get that figured out. But that's also the draw, is the electrical panel, because I can't figure it out. And I'm going to have to call our buddy Tyrion and see if maybe he has an opinion on it. And maybe we'll just have to start over. I have no idea.
Oh my gosh.
But we passed our 4-way inspection!
How excited are you?
I'm actually shocked.
I'm
really
so shocked. Brandon and I were talking yesterday about, like, all right, how many things are going to be wrong? 8?
18, 28. Like we were taking bets on. We got
Yeah.
four little tiny things.
It looks like we're not as big of idiots as we thought.
I'm
when it comes to
amazed.
building a house. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed coming along on this adventure. If you guys are psyched that we passed our 4-way, make sure you give us a big thumbs up on today's video. And if you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss a video.
Thanks again to Simply Safe for sponsoring today's video. Click the link in our description to check them out.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Adios!